Okay, so we're in activity 4.5, cams in motion. I'm going to show you in this video how to create the regular hexagon cam, or the Hex Cam for short. So I'm going to blow this picture up in here to show you the dimensions a little bit better on this cam. And the regular Hex Cam has got a greatest radial dimension. That's the length from the farthest point out, which is these corners. And they're all the same. Since it's a regular hex cam, all these sides are the same, all these angles are the same. And so the distance from the center to the edge here is going to be the same. In this case here, it's going to be 1/2 d, d being your nominal diameter. For my hex cam, I'm going to make one that's got a nominal diameter of 2 inches. So the distance from my center to the edge is going to be 1 inch. So let's go ahead and go into Autodesk Inventor. And I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to start a new part file or standard IPT and hit create. And always we'll start off by creating a 2D sketch in the XY plane. And what I need to put in there is a hexagon. And there's a real easy tool to create hexagons in here. We've used this rectangle tool quite a bit up to this point, but you'll note there's a pull down arrow underneath that rectangle tool. And in there, if I left click on that one time, I can pull down to, and you can see the different types of rectangles, how to create them using a 2-point center or a 3-point rectangle. But I want to go down here to this polygon tool. Polygon tool is great because it creates polygonal shapes with up to the number of sides that I want to put in there, up to 120. In this case here, I want to do a hexagon, which has got 6 sides. So I'm going to hit 6. Now, don't hit done because we're not done yet. We're going to start off by defining the center point of my hexagon, which is going to be right on the origin here at 0, 0. So I'm going to left click one time. And I'm going to drag that up, and I'm just going to go straight up. And I don't really care about my dimensions at this point. I'm just creating the shape. So I'm just going to left click again. I do want to, before you left click the second time, that's really helpful if you put it right on the XY, the Y axis here, just for measurement purposes. You could have done it easily on the X axis as well. But now I've got my shape in here. I'm going to hit done, and I have my hexagon. But remember, I do have a dimension defined by my diagram in here. It's 1/2 d. So since d for me is 2, 1/2 d is 1 inch. So I'm going to put that dimension tab in by clicking dimension. Going to the center, clicking once with the left click to my longest dimension. And you'll see where that 4.4 on mine is. Yours will be something different. I'm going to left click again. And now I can change that dimension. So I'm just going to put in a 1. Now you could put 1.00, and that's probably technically more accurate, but you don't have to. When you Autodesk will automatically assume that it's 1.000. So just to save time, and you can just hit enter or use the check mark box here. Now I have the hexagon that I wanted. So I'm finished with my sketch, and I'm into my 3D modeling window. So what I need to do now is extrude this, because this hex cam does have some thickness to it. And I'll go back real quick to look at my dimension. Oh, there it is right there, 3/16 of an inch thick material. So we're going to extrude that. And I need to extrude it right now. Sometimes you have to tell Autodesk what you want to extrude, but since this cam is the only thing, this hexagonal shape is the only thing that I have in there right now, it's the only thing that I can extrude, so it's going to default to that. I need to change this dimension. I don't want 1 inch, I want 3/16 of an inch. Now, yeah, you could go in there and use a calculator and take 3 and divide it by 16 and get some repeating decimal, but let's not do that. Let's let Autodesk do that math for us. So all I need to do is type in 3/16, and there's 3/16 of an inch will pop right up there. That's what one of the powers of using software for your work in here. So 3/16 is done. I could hit the check mark here, I could hit OK here, or I could just hit the enter button, and it's going to create that 3-dimensional hexagonal shape for me right there. There's my hex cam. I'm almost done. Remember though, I need to put this hole in the middle. So that hole, let's go back, let's go to that center point. Click anywhere on the face of your hex cam, and we're going to go to create sketch. So I left click on my face, create sketch. And now I could go and put a circle here and put a circle centered right up on the center of this hole, and then put that dimension out there of what I need is just 3/16 of an inch, and boom, I'm done. But I'm going to show you a different tool. So we haven't used the point tool here. I'm going to click on that, and this just puts a point somewhere on my object. In this case here, I want to put it right at the center at 0, 0. Left click, and I'm done with that. So I could either hit escape, otherwise I'm going to create more points. But in this case, since I'm not doing anything else, I'm just going to hit finish. Now you can see where that point is right there. In fact, if I hover over it, it'll just tell me exactly what that is. Yep, it's a point. Thank you for telling me that. So I'm going to put a hole centered right up on that point. So I'm going to click my Smart Hole button here. And the Smart Hole button is kind of neat because it allows you to put in different types of holes in here, not just a circle with a hole cut through it, but you could put a tapered screw in here. But in this case here, I'm just going to put in a straight hole all the way through. And Argo's trying to contribute and critique my drawing, and here it sounds like. My hole is got to be 3/16 of an inch in diameter. If you'll remember here, that's this one. It's that symbol right there, the circle with the slash through it. That's the diameter symbol. So the diameter of this is 3/16 of an inch. So that's just where I change that diameter. I could do that in this window here, or I could do it in this window over here. Either way, it's the same thing. We're going to go 3/16. There's the hole. And then the termination point. How deep do I want that hole to go? You could put a distance in here and actually tell it how deep to make it. Well, I don't want it 1 inch. My cam's not even that deep. Instead, I'm just going to go back and hit through all, and it'll default right to the end of my cam. Hit OK. And there you go. You're done. There's your hexagonal cam with the 3/16 inch hole right in there. And you're good. Please, once you've done all this work, don't forget to save it. So you're going to go up in File, Save As, give it a name, and you're good to go. Okay, that's it.